Good afternoon, participants. We are just waiting for resource person to join in and we will start. So the session has not yet started. The resource person is joining in and we will start in a while.
Rucha madam, I am here. I have joined.
Okay, ma'am. A very good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to session 2. The expert for this session is Dr. Reika Sharma, ma'am. Ma'am is Associate Professor in UGC Human Resource Development Center, RTM Nagpur University since March 2004. And she is actively engaged in research and training. Having PhD in Foods and Nutrition from RTM Nagpur University, ma'am has published 72 research papers in national and international journals. Ma'am has also presented 16 research papers in conferences and being awarded best research papers in 4 conferences. Ma'am has published book on wheat germ. 7 of her students have been awarded PhD under her guidance. She has vast experience of teaching of 2 decades. She has worked as a research assistant in UNICEF assisted projects. At UGC HRDC, she is coordinating many orientation programs, refresher courses, short-term training courses, and workshops. She was president of Nutrition Society of India Nagpur chapter from 2010 to 2013 and 2017 to 2019. Her major areas of interest are higher education, ICT in education, research methodology, statistical tools, women's studies, and nutrition. Rekha ma'am, thank you so much for agreeing to be a resource person at our FDP. And now the session is over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rucha. Thank you, Dr. Shiny Chib, madam, also for inviting me in this program. As madam said, I will be telling you about the descriptive and inferential statistics. So I'll start my presentation on what we will do to understand it. I'll take a survey. एक छोटा सा सर्वे हम करेंगे गूगल फॉर्म से and we'll generate data, and on the basis of that data we will do statistical analysis. So prior to that, I will first give you some information about statistical analysis. I'm sharing my screen, Rucha.
Yes, ma'am.
हेलो रेखा मैम।
हेलो मैडम।
कैसे हो?
बढ़िया। बढ़िया तो नहीं है, वैक्सीन लिया है तो मैं आज कॉलेज नहीं गई। आई एम नॉट फीलिंग वेल।
अच्छा अच्छा,
घर पे हूँ।
ओके 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 ओके, ठीक। थैंक्स फॉर एक्सेप्टिंग द इनविटेशन।
थैंक यू सो मच। मैडम एक मिनट में शेयर कर रही हूँ।
जी जी
Yes, ma'am.
I think my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. The slide is visible.
Yes. Dear participants, I will be telling you about basics of statistical analysis. I'll tell you, and then thereafter we'll start with the other part of it. So statistics, it is a branch of applied mathematics and is concerned with collection and interpretation of quantitative data and the use of probability theory to estimate population parameters. In statistics, it is a probability theory which is used to estimate population parameters concerned with treatment of quantitative information from groups of individuals. Then what can and what cannot statistics do? What it can do, it can provide objective criteria for evaluating hypotheses. It can synthesize information. It can help to detect the pattern of data, and it can help to evaluate argument. Okay, but it cannot tell the truth. वो हमें truth नहीं बताता है. It doesn't tell us truth, but it can give us the probability of being correct or being wrong. ये दो चीजें जो that we should remember, that statistics cannot tell us the truth, but it will give you the probability of being correct or being wrong. Then it cannot compensate with the poor design, and it cannot indicate clinical significance. So this is how what statistics can do and what it cannot do. Then we need data for statistical analysis. Now let us come down to what is data. So data is the data collected from various sources through the use of different tools and techniques, generally consists of numerical figures, ratings, narrations, responses to open-ended questions comprising a questionnaire or an interview schedule, quotations, field notes, etc. क्या करते हैं? What do? We generate data using different tools. You will be studying in your research methodology how do we collect our data, but the data is not necessarily always quantitative data. It may be qualitative data also. So types of data, the two major types we all know is one is qualitative data and another is quantitative data. So qualitative data is they are verbal or other symbolic materials. The detailed descriptions of observed behaviors, people, situations, and events. These data are gathered by a variety of methods and techniques such as ऑब्जर्वेशन करके आप ये डेटा जमा कर सकते हैं, इंटरव्यूज करके, क्वेश्चनर्स, ओपनर्स, इन्वेंटरीज, recorded data from newspapers and other documents maintained by educational institutions, courts, clinics, government and non-government agencies. So that type of data is qualitative data. Then again, the data may be in the form of emotions of respondents, their thoughts and experiences. They are known as qualitative. Then quantitative is, it is obtained by using various tools and tests based on scale of measurement like nominal, ordinal, interval or ratio. ये हम बाद में देखेंगे detail में. We'll be studying it in detail later on. Not later on, just after this slide, we'll be studying that. Then the quantitative data are either parametric or non-parametric. That also we will study what is this. And then parametric data undergo metric scale measurement, and non-parametric data are obtained by applying nominal or ordinal scales of measurement. So these are either coded, counted or ranked. अब हम देखेंगे there are two types of data, parametric which includes interval or scale data and ratio data. So parametric and the another is non-parametric which includes nominal or ordinal. देखिए, now in your like today's class, I've not seen the number of people joined, but madam said there are about 200 participants are there in this course. So out of these 200, if I want to categorically divide the data, I'll ask how many males are there and how many females are there. So when you divide your data according to categories, they are known as nominal data. Okay, when you divide your sample into categories, according to the categories, it is known as nominal data. One example I've given you according to the gender. Okay, and then second is ordinal. Ordinal is who has come, who is first, who is second, who is third, who is fourth. When you divide the data according to the ranks, it is known as ordinal data. It is known as ordinal data. So nominal is when you divide the data according to according to categories, it is known as nominal data. When you divide the data according to the ranks, it is known as ordinal data. And nominal and ordinal, it comes under non-parametric data. And this type of data is, they are coded or ranked. Okay. So second type of data is known as parametric data. Now in this data, the various parameters are, parametric data is where parameters are there. Now the parameters may be height, weight, time, temperature, जिसमें the starting is 0. So scale data is like, if I ask you, if I want to divide the data into according to the weight of the participants, okay, कौन underweight है, कौन overweight है, कौन normal weight है. If we divide this, there will be a parametric data. Okay, or ratio data is like in case of a scale data, 0, all जितने भी आपके रहेंगे ग्रुप्स, जो भी रहेंगे स्टार्टिंग, दे आर, इट बिगिंस विद 0. बट रेशियो में ऐसा नहीं होता है, इट इज नॉन जीरो. रेशियो का यूजुअली एजुकेशन के रिसर्च में ज़्यादा फायदा होता है. They require this type of data. Now a simple example I give you, like if a student gets 0 in his paper, out of 50 उसको 0 दे दिया, so 0 doesn't mean that उसको कुछ नहीं आता है. He knows something, but in that particular exam he is not able to give. So the concepts are a bit different. We will not go through that. Okay. Then yes. Again, to explain you this in a better way, nominal is like according to gender, we have classified the data. Here you can see males and females को जब हमने बांटा, that is known as nominal. Okay, according to this rank, when we divide the data, first कौन आया, second कौन आया, third कौन है, fourth कौन है, then it is known as ordinal data. You know, I am basically from nutrition, and we divide the population like मुझे anemia study करना. If you want to study, if I want to study the prevalence of anemia in a particular group, so how I will divide the groups? मैं divide करूँगी कि नॉर्मल कितने लोग हैं, अनेमिक कितने हैं, अनेमिया, वेरी सीवियर अनेमिया कितने को है, मॉडरेट अनेमिया कितने को है, then this will be known as ordinal data. Okay. Now interval data is, as I said, now it depends upon the scale. आप height, weight, temperature क्या ले रहे हैं. So accordingly, the scale will vary. And then ratio. Ratio, as I said, we very rarely use in, it is basically used in education. So this is how the difference is. Then second is, next is again the same thing I have discussed here. Data के दो type हमने देखे, qualitative और quantitative. Qualitative के there are no again classifications, but then quantitative data is classified again into discrete unit and continuous unit. Discrete unit or continuous unit को हम देखेंगे. A very simple thing to remember here is, when you use decimals, we call it as continuous data, and discrete unit is an एक पूरा जो है numbers जो है, that is known as discrete data. Okay. Now for example, discrete data is आपके यहाँ पे अभी कुछ लोग हैं, जैसे 200 लोग हैं, 200 people are there, we will call it as 200. Like एक फैमिली जा रही है, उसमें मदर, फादर और उनका 8 साल का बच्चा है, तो we will not say 2.5% are going, हम बोलेंगे 3 लोग जा रहे हैं. So there is no decimal in discrete data, but continuous data में, like if your weight is 52.5 kg. Your height is 5 feet 4 inches. So that is how it is continuous data. But in case of discrete data, the data is a whole number. Okay, now again, like in case of parametric and non-parametric, I said this discrete data is nominal, ordinal, and binary is 1 or 0. Though true or false, 0 या 1. And continuous में interval and ratio. Okay. इसके पहले हम आगे बढ़े, मैंने एक चीज और इसमें छोड़ दिया है, and that is dependent and independent variable. Okay, that we will study later on. जब हम inferential statistics करेंगे तब देखेंगे. Now, statistical methods जो हैं, they are extensively used in analyzing quantitative data in educational research. Okay, and generally these methods are classified as descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. दो तरह के statistics होते हैं. One is known as descriptive statistics and another is known as inferential statistics. So in the first lecture, we will study all descriptive methods of statistics, and in the next class, we will study all inferential statistics. So, descriptive statistics हम पहले देखेंगे. Descriptive statistics, it describes the characteristics of the sample. Okay, sample की जब हम पूरे characteristics describe करते हैं, that is known as descriptive statistics. Then no conclusions are extended beyond this group. जो भी conclusions you will be taking, they will be limited to that particular group. Like हम India का census देखते हैं, तो census में will say that yes, this country has 25% population of children, इतना percent population of elderly, this much population. But then we do not say that हर country का, every country have this type of distribution of their different age groups. So these conclusions, they are extended, they are not extended beyond this particular group. हम इंडिया का सेंसस बोलेंगे तो इंडिया का सेंसस ही है, and this will not be a generalized statement. Okay, then method of organizing and summarize data in tables, graphs or numbers. इसमें frequencies आती है, percent आता है, cumulative percent आता है. Then measures of central tendency like mean, mode, median. मुझे लगता है सभी टीचर्स है, पीजी सब ने किया है, तो हमको ये measures of central tendency
Yes, everyone, I'll be telling the resource person regarding the disturbance. There is some technical issue. Yeah, participants, there is some connectivity issue. So I have communicated the same to the resource person. Just please wait for a while. Yes, participants, ma'am is checking with the connectivity problem and we will resume with the session in 5 minutes. Yeah, participants, by the time the resource person is resolving the connectivity issue, I would like to give you people certain instructions. First of all, the attendance is compulsory. So minimum attendance of 80% is required for evaluation. 60% in the evaluation test is required so that you get eligible for getting the certificates. Evaluation test we will be having on the last day, that is 23rd July, Friday. So first session 10:30 to 11:30 we will be sharing a multiple choice question based paper. It will be in the form of a Google form, and that will be shared in the WhatsApp group. So you people will attempt that test. We will keep the link open from 10:30 to 11:30. So 1 hour sufficient time to solve the test. And then on the basis of evaluation of test and attendance, you people will get the certificates. Apart from that, when you're sharing the attendance form link, participants, please ensure you're marking attendance only for that particular session after which the form is shared, because we are downloading the attendance sheet soon after the session attendance is recorded. So at the end of the third session, even though you are recording attendance for first session and second session, it will not be counted. So participants, please take a note of it. I will again have a word with Rekha ma'am. If the problem is resolved, we can resume the session. We are sorry for the inconvenience caused.
Madam, one question.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Please.
How many questions do you ask in the exam?
The number of questions.
Number of
Yeah,
questions.
I'll just check and I'll let you know, sir.
Okay. See,
Yesterday,
basically, we are not from the
Yeah.
statistical background. We don't have much
Correct.
knowledge of analytics. So this is my
Yeah.
request to please extend the duration of that particular test.
Okay. And so keeping in mind all that, the paper has been said by director ma'am receiving, the multiple choice questions from all the resource person, but ma'am has very well kept that in mind that it should be easy enough. So you don't have to worry, sir.
Okay. Even one request I also made yesterday. If you can please send us the recorded sessions.
Yes, sir. Already the link is mailed to your registered email ID. So if you can check now, it is already shared.
Because sometimes
Even
it
the
usually happens that
presentations.
during the
Yeah. Yes, sir.
the presentations we got, but usually in the day session, what happens is a working time.
Correct.
So it's not continuously, it is not possible to be
Sir,
attentive.
I understand. So we have shared the link, so you
Mhm.
can watch the recording at your leisure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anything else?
No. Thank
Like
you so much.
with respect to the evaluation test, with respect to the evaluation test, the questions are very easy. Okay, even though there are few questions from statistical part, it's very easy to understand, very easy to attempt also. You need to score some 60% marks in order to get the certificate as per the norms of AICT ATAL. Okay.
Ma'am, there is one more question. Yesterday, I
Yeah.
marked a little later. My attendance was marked a little later.
Okay.
Not immediately after the session. So will it be counted?
Yeah, of course, we'll be counting it. We all understand that we all are struggling and juggling hard in order to have in the morning itself. I have already told that, isn't it? So we will be considering that.
Okay, thank you.
But the only thing is you need to be attentive during the session whenever you are attending, so that at least we can capture that.
We are doing religiously, doing, and I should
Yeah.
congratulate you, ma'am. It's a wonderful FDP. I'm really enjoying it. Although I'm already a faculty in HR, but still I feel that yes, a lot is more being added to my knowledge. So it's
thanks
great.
a lot. Thanks a lot. But now we are facing this technical issue, isn't
It's
it?
okay.
It is from,
it's part of this, ma'am. We've always faced this type of issues. It's a part of this thing. It's okay.
Yeah, it is from the resource person's part. Okay, let us see when we can rectify it. And she's working also to rectify the issue. Okay.
Okay.
Miss Rucha, I have a query. You mentioned about the timing that the test is from time 10:30 to 11:30. What is the date? 24th?
23rd.
Okay.
That is the last day of FDP in the first session.
Madam Rucha.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam Rucha. Rucha ma'am. Hello.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Please.
Just give me a minute. Actually, Rekha ma'am has
Actually,
called. I have a word with her and get back to you.
I did not receive attendance link for morning session.
Ma'am, it is already there in the WhatsApp group.
No, I'm getting from faculty development program from quantification of human resource and HR analytics.
Yeah.
Okay. I got the other. I got that other this thing. Okay.
Yeah. Like even if we are making it compulsory to record your attendance during that session, we are sharing it for the whole day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I was wanting to ask you if the test would be an MCQ.
Yes, ma'am. The test will be
Yeah,
in
it will be totally
around 20
MCQs.
questions.
Yeah, and somebody asked to schedule it in the second half. It is not possible. Like the resource person who will be taking this tableau is not free in the first slot. So that is why we have kept the evaluation test in the during the first slot only.
Yes, ma'am.
मैंने ज्वाइन कर लिया है, थोड़ा इंटरनेट डिस्क्रिप्शन हो गया था.
Acha, welcome back, ma'am. After
No
a break,
issues, ma'am. We will make you the host.
we were having chit chat with the participants
बढ़िया, अच्छा हो
virtually.
गया.
है ना?
इतना टाइम
ठीक
मिल
है,
गया
ma'am?
आपको बात करने. जी
जी.
सॉरी, वेरी सॉरी.
Not an issue. Yeah, this is the part and parcel of virtual world.
Yes. अच्छा, screen sharing is not, I'm
Yeah,
disabled.
ma'am. No issues. Now you can do the screen sharing, ma'am. Now you are the host.
Okay. Now I think my screen is visible. Rucha madam?
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
It is
Yes, ma'am.
visible.
Okay, now हम यहाँ तक आए थे. After this, as I said, we will be, ये इतना हमने लिया था percent measures of central tendency, then measures of dispersion. See, whenever we mention about the central tendency, just say if you have calculated mean, then you need to give the measure of dispersion also along with the measure of central tendency. आप मीन लिख रहे हैं तो आपको स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन देना जरूरी है. यदि आप मीडियन दे रहे हैं तो आपको क्वार्टाइल डेविएशन देना जरूरी है. So mean without standard deviation or standard deviation without mean is meaningless. So you need to remember this. Say if you have data, if you're calculating standard measures of central tendency, you need to give the measures of dispersion also along with this that data. Then normal probability का एक concept है that I will be telling you, and measures of relative position sigma score ये हम बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे. And product moment correlation rank order, these all they come under descriptive statistics. ये descriptive statistics के under आता है. ठीक है. So next is inferential का मतलब होता है statistical methods used to draw generalizations beyond the sample with a known degree of accuracy. ठीक है. अब कैसे हो रहा है? टिंटा बेबी, कहीं आवाज आ रही है किसी की. ठीक है. So inferential.
Continue in English. Ma'am, can you please continue in English? We cannot follow.
Okay, Rekha ma'am, we are having people from south and other
Okay.
part of India. They, So if you could make it in English, it's a request. And rest of the participants, it's a humble request. Please keep yourself on mute mode.
Yes, I'm very sorry. I thought pan India, so majority will be able to understand better in Hindi. So I started in Hindi.
No issues, ma'am.
So the inferential statistics is a statistical method used to draw generalizations beyond the sample with a known degree of accuracy. Like if I have nowadays you must have seen regarding corona. So if a study is done in a group of people regarding COVID-19, so the statements are made generalized. Like if this treatment is given, the treatment we can see 100% success or 97% success. Or you must have seen about Covaxin and Covishield also. So the success rate is this much. and then that is generalized. Even if they do a study with 300 people or 500 people, but they come out with the generalized statements. So this inferential statistics is a statistics which comes out with the inference, and that inference is applicable or it is generalized beyond the sample with the known degree of accuracy. Now that accuracy is also said that it is true, or the condition is it is correct with the 97% accuracy or 92% accuracy. So that is how it is known as inferential statistics. Whereas in case of the descriptive statistics, it is the conclusions are not extended beyond this group. So whatever statistics you will analysis you will get, that will be only limited or restricted to that particular group. It will describe the characteristic of a sample of that particular group, and it will not go beyond that group. But in case of an inferential statistics, whatever conclusions are made, those conclusions they go beyond that particular group, but then with the known degree of accuracy. Then next is, yes, now I will tell you about these measures of descriptive statistics in brief, and then we will do a small survey and we will generate a data for doing this statistics. So the measures of descriptive statistics, this everyone knows, it is mean, mode, and media. So it is commonly used in educational research. Then the first is the first measure is averages, or yes, the various descriptive statistics they need central tendency or averages, variability of dispersion, and relative position. So first is measures of central tendency. We use averages to describe the characteristics of samples. Then, but in statistical language, use of term average does not convey any specific meaning, because there are number of types of averages, only one of which may be appropriate to use in describing given characteristics of a sample or a group. So there are three most commonly used analysis of, in educational data, and these include mean, median, and mode. Okay, mean is the distribution of the arithmetic average, and it is perhaps the most familiar, most frequently used, and well understood average. Here you add the data frequencies, you add, and then you divide it by the number of samples you have. That gives you, it is computed by dividing the sum of all the observations by the total number of observation. That gives you mean. Okay. Now, where do you use? Mean is more useful measure of central tendency than its other measures. Then it is appropriate statistics when the observations or measures are distributed symmetrically about the center of the distribution. And the most stable measure of central tendency is desired. And additional statistics are to be computed later. So it is the basic statistics after which you can conduct several other statistical analysis. Then median. Median is a point in an order arrangement of observations above and below which half of the observations fall. Like if you have 100 people for your the analysis, and suppose I want to know the height of these 100 people, and if I ask all these 100 people to stand in an order, in an ascending or in a descending order, so the 50th person, the height of the 50th person is known as the median. So median is a point in an ordered arrangement of observations. As I said, it may be in an order, either in an ascending order or in a descending order, above or below which one half of the observations
Everyone, I guess again there is some connectivity issue from ma'am's side. I'll quickly have a word with her and update you all.
Rucha, I'll have a filler. Okay, so what she was discussing basically, statistics is basically classified it into two types. The first one is inference and the second one is descriptive. Okay, so when we are saying inference, what is basic meaning of inference? Yes, any idea? What is the basic meaning of inference?
Deduction.
Yeah, we can say that to come up with some conclusion, to come up with some inference out of it. Okay, so when we take the case of statistics and when we take the case of inference, yeah, interpretation, very true. We can say that interpretation, yeah, we can say conclusion also. So you can get some conclusion out of it. Okay, you can get some conclusion out of it. But in case of descriptive, you are able to describe. You can only describe. So what she was discussing was with respect to mean, median, mode, that comes under descriptive statistics. So basically, descriptive statistics is classified it into two parts. One is the central tendency, and the second one is dispersion. Dispersion. Okay, so again, the central tendency, it is classified as mean, median, and mode. Okay, the classification is mean, median, and mode. And when we say mean, what is basically mean? Mean is average, isn't it? Mean is nothing but average. I'm just utilizing the time, okay? I'm not the resource person. I'm just utilizing the time so that we can have a discussion on it. And somebody told that you people are not from the field of statistics, and I need to include statistics in your evaluation. That's why I'm giving a brief idea about various central tendency, dispersion, and basic statistics. Okay.
Shiny ma'am, thank you so much. I'm unable to reach Rekha ma'am, but by that
Yeah.
time, ma'am, thank you so much for filling in the gap.
Yeah, so I should continue or stop?
Ma'am, please continue for a while. Once it is resolved, ma'am will join.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So central tendency, now why it is called a central tendency? That is the first logic we should understand. Okay, now it is called a central tendency because it concludes, yeah, we can say it represents the whole data with a single value. Okay, like for example, if you're having a bulky data, how you can represent this bulky data with a single value? That is what is the basic of central tendency. And that is why it is called a central tendency measure. So if I'm having a data where I'm having thousands of people, okay, I'm having thousands of people, and if I want to describe about the data with respect to the age, okay, so it is easy for me to describe the average age of the participants. Yeah, the average age of the respondent is some number instead of giving the age of each and every person. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to convert the bulky data into a single value. Okay, I'm converting it into a single value. That is nothing but you can say average age. Fine? Getting it? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm making sense.
Yes,
I hope
ma'am.
you people are getting what I'm explaining, trying to explain.
Definitely, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is what? That is the concept of average. Now, what is the disadvantage of this average value? For example, if I'm having a data of 50, okay, I'm having 50 numbers with me. And out of that 50 numbers, there are 2-3 numbers which are in the extreme end. Okay, my number ranges from my number ranges from some 20 to 40. But there are 2-3 data which is going to the extreme end of the database. Okay, like for example, I'm having a data respondent age is 6060. Okay, and then I'm having a respondent's age. It is, I can say, some 20. Yeah, I can say it is 15. Okay, now ends, it is going to disturb. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the question clear? Yeah. But the question which I have asked, is it clear to you people?
The
What I'm trying.
voice was lost for a short duration, ma'am. The question could not be heard.
Okay, I'm repeating it. Okay, I'm having a data of, I have recorded the data, the age of respondents, and it varies from 20 to 4040. Okay, that much part is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so 20 to 40. But there were 2-3 respondents whose age was 6060 and 5555. So there were 2 respondents. Okay. Now, whether this respondents 60 and 55, they will have an influence on this average number, whether they will decide the average number.
Yes, definitely.
They are outliers.
Yeah, that is what I want to say. Okay, so these people are lying at the extremes, and they will be having an influence on this average number. And they will change the complete dimension of the data which you have collected.
Correct.
That is why these people are considered as outliers. This is the biggest disadvantage of
Average.
We can
or
say
mean.
average. Yeah, this is the biggest disadvantage when we are taking a single value. This is the biggest disadvantage when we are considering the central tendency values. So in order to overcome this disadvantage, there is one more measure which is called as dispersion. Okay, it is called as dispersion. So before moving further to dispersion, let me tell you what are the different central tendency values. The first one is the average value, which is called as mean. Okay, which is called as mean. Now the second is median. Now what is basically median is? What is basically median is? It is?
The
point
middlemost
where
value. If we
point
arrange
where
in ascending order or descending order, the
Yes.
value which is the middlemost value.
Yes. So median is the value which divides your data into 2 parts. It is the mid value, isn't it? Like you might have seen the placement records of the colleges. Okay. And in that, they encash the admissions. So generally what they write is average salary. Yeah, average pay package. In some cases, they write instead of average, what they will do is they will write it as median salary. Okay, so median is what? Median is basically the value, a single value, which divides the complete data into 2 parts. Fine, that part is clear. Now the third central tendency value is mode. It is the mode. Now, what is basically mode is? Anybody?
Which has the highest frequency.
I'm sorry to
frequency of
disturb
the
you.
data.
Actually, Rekha ma'am has joined.
Thank you.
Ma'am, Shiny ma'am, you are the host now. Please, if you can make Rekha
Yeah,
ma'am.
I'll say, yeah, fine.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for filling in the gap. Rekha ma'am, you can
मैडम
take
आई एम
over
सो
the session
सॉरी,
now.
आज क्या हो गया पता नहीं, 2 बार चला गया, फिर से डर लग रहा है ये 2 घंटे में कितने बार जाएगा पता नहीं, कभी नहीं होता लेकिन आज नहीं हो रहा है.
हाँ, मैं फिलर का काम कर रही थी अभी।
वैसे भी आप, मैंने कहा था कि आप तो बहुत अच्छा लेते हैं, लेकिन आपको टाइम नहीं था, इसलिए यू इनवाइटेड मी।
ठीक है, कोई बात, ठीक है। ओके मैम, कंटिन्यू कीजिए।
Okay, Rucha madam, can you see this?
Yes, ma'am, we could see.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, your screen is visible.
So a selection and application of median. Median is computed when the distribution of the observation measures is markedly skewed. I said we will see what is this skewed word, and there is not sufficient time to compute a mean, and then an incomplete distribution is given, and we are interested in whether cases fall within the upper or lower halves of distribution, and not particularly in how far they are from the central point. As Shiny Chip madam, she was also telling you that this makes your data into two equal halves. Then mode. Mode is the most frequently occurring observation in a distribution. Okay, so that is known as mode, and it is located by inspection rather than by computation. You need to just see if it is a raw data, and if you just need to see how many times a particular frequency is repeated, and if there is only one value which occurs a maximum number of times, then the distribution is said to have one mode or to be unimodal. In some distributions, there may be more than one mode. A two-mode distribution is bimodal. More than two is known as multimodal. So this is how. Then where do we use this mode? The mode is the most appropriate statistics when the quickest estimate of central tendency is wanted. Then a very rough estimate of central tendency will suffice, and the purpose is known, the most typical case. Then we will see measures of variability or dispersion. Now, up till now, we have completed measures of central tendency. That gives you a basic idea. Now, what is the dispersion? Dispersion is if you have a crowd of say 100 people. Now, how far they have been standing from the main stage or main area. So on an average, you will be able to know the distance. But dispersion will tell you the minimum and the maximum length of the person they are standing from the central place. So measures of central tendency describes location along an ordered scale. Although these statistics are very useful in describing the nature of a distribution of measures, this will not help the researcher how the observation data tend to be distributed. Okay, now for this we need variability or dispersion, and the various means to calculate the variability or dispersion is: first is range, second is average deviation, then standard deviation. Then range, we all know minimum maximum minus minimum will give you the range. So the range is the simplest measure of variability. It is the difference between the highest and the lowest observation or score, and the range is used when only an idea of extreme scores or of total spread is wanted. Okay, and like I was giving you an example of height or say weight of this particular group. So the lowest height and the lowest highest height, that will give you the difference between the two, will give you the range. The data are too scanty or too scattered, that time we need this range. Then selection and application of range. Although the range has the advantage of being easily calculated, it has some limitations. The value of range is based on only two extreme scores in the total distribution, and thus it does not provide us any information or the variation of many other scores of the distribution. Then yes, second is average deviation. Now, in this case, what is done? It is the mean of the deviations of the separate observations or scores is in a series taken from their mean. For example, if I have a data of height of all the people, or say weight of all the participants, now I will take a mean of that weight, and then I will I will subtract the that particular weight from the mean. and that will give us the average. The total of that will give the average deviation. But in case of average deviation, the signs, that is plus or minus, is not taken into consideration. Hence, average deviation does not give you a correct picture of dispersion. Hence, instead of average deviation, we take into consider standard deviation. Okay. Then another is quartile deviation. Now, what is this quartile deviation that we will see? Now, under this, I will take just a minute. I am taking annotation. Okay, if this is a line, okay, and this is 0. Just a minute. I'm not getting it how to write. Okay. So if this is a line, okay, here this is 100 and this is 0 and this side of line is 100. Now quartile deviation is if this is the 50th part, 50, okay. If this is 0, this is 100 and here it is 50. Now quartile deviation is 25th to 75th. So this middle part will give you quartile deviation. So the quartile deviation is Q is 1/2 of the scale between 75th and 25th percentiles in a frequency distribution. Now in case of median, we know that it is the 50th percentile is median. But in case of quartile deviation, it is 25th to 75th quartile, and that is known as quartile deviation. Okay. Then next is where do we use quartile deviation? We use quartile deviation where when you are using just a minute, when you are using median as a measure of central tendency. So wherever you use a median as a measure of central tendency, you need to use quartile deviation as a measure of variation. So they are scattered or extreme scores which could influence the standard deviation disproportionately. Then next is oh.
No, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay. But I think my presentation.
Ma'am, even the presentation is
visible.
But my cursor is not working. I don't know what has happened to this.
Okay, ma'am, if you can just escape and then try again on a new slide.
I'm doing it, but it is not working.
It is not working.
Ma'am,
you can stop sharing and again start sharing. Maybe in that case, it will work.
सारे टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम्स आज ही आ रहे हैं. Okay. Yes.
I mean, in case of online session, the technical glitches are expected, so that is no big deal, ma'am.
Now we can
standard deviation. Now standard deviation is the measure of central measure of deviation which is used in majority of statistical analysis, and it is the most general and stable measure of variability. So it is a positive square root of variance, even if we take a difference from mean, but here the square root of that variance is taken, and that helps us to minimize the errors. The average of square deviations of the measure of scores from their mean is known as variance, which is generally denoted as sigma. So standard deviation is used when the statistics having greatest stability is taught. The extreme deviations exercise a proportionately greater effect upon the variability, and coefficient of correlation and other statistics are subsequently computed. So after this, before I start with the normal probability curve, we will generate data, a small questionnaire we will develop, and I will share screen. Chrome I will share, and we will develop a small questionnaire. Okay. I'll go to Drive, and through Google form we will develop a small questionnaire which I will give you. New, I will go to New. Google Forms. Is it with my screen is visible, or should
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. Your
Yes,
screen
ma'am,
is
it is visible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'll go to Google Forms. Google Form, blank form I will take. Okay, in this form, we will not mention this is form, it is just for generating data. Okay, so data generation. This is the title I have given you. Question number 1 is, we will not ask you your name. You need to just write. We'll start from the gender. We want parametric and non-parametric data. So I will take here male, and second we will take female. Okay, then this is the required question. Second question, we will take your faculty, which faculty you belong to. Okay, so first faculty we will take as science and technology. Then third we will take second, we will first is science and technology. Second is arts and humanities. Then third is commerce and management. And fourth, we will take other or interdisciplinary. Other I will write. If you do not belong to these three, you can write it in here. You can select other. This is also required question. Then third question is your age in years. But while writing your age, don't write years. Simply a number you need to write. This is also required. Then fourth is just I'm writing this thing weight in kg. Okay, if you can write incorrect weight also, not very particular. जो है वैसा ही लिखना नहीं है. You can write some other imaginable weights also. Then these are all we will be getting. First two are non-parametric. This is parametric. So these all are quantitative. One we will take qualitative. So my qualitative data I will generate through what is your opinion regarding the third wave of corona. Okay, so is the answers for this when I will get will be the qualitative data. So this is an open-ended data. This is also required. Okay, so this is a questionnaire, and the link of this I will be giving you in your chat box. Okay, I'll give the link. This is the link I have copied and I will put it in the chat box. Okay. So can you all see the link? Now you please click this link and fill the information immediately, please.
Yes, ma'am. The link is there in the chat box.
Yes. We'll start getting responses and our data will be generated. So I request all the participants to, yes, I received one response, 2. Yes, I'm getting responses. Very good. 4. Okay. Yes, very good. So we have got 26 responses. Good. $36. Okay, once it becomes 50, then we will stop accepting responses. Okay, now about 47 responses we have got. We'll wait for 2 more, 48, 49, and 50. Okay, now I will stop accepting the responses. I will not accept the responses now. We have data of about 50 participants. Okay, if I click this create spreadsheet, this I have clicked create. Now very soon we will get the data in the tabular in an Excel sheet. So this is how in an Excel sheet we have got this. Okay, we have got this data in an Excel sheet. So what I will do, I will download this file. I will download this in a Microsoft Excel. This I have downloaded. This I have downloaded. I will open. रुचा मैडम बताइए ये दिख रहा है या नहीं मैडम?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
No, now I think it will not be visible.
Ma'am, I can see the responses, Excel sheet of responses on the screen.
Excel sheet, but I think that is online.
The Google Docs one.
It is Google Docs. Okay. So I will stop sharing and I'll again share the Excel file now. Okay, now this Excel sheet which I have downloaded is visible, I think.
Yes, ma'am. Now the downloaded Excel sheet is
Now
visible.
with this downloaded Excel sheet, we can do various types of analysis. You know, now when I have taught you types of data, now this type of data and this type of data, these are known as non-parametric data. This is nominal data. This is also nominal data because we have divided the data as categories. In gender, we have divided data as male, female, and here we have divided data according to the faculty. But now this type of data and this type of data, these two data are known as scale data, or this data is known as scale data, and this is parametric data. This type of data is known as parametric data. Now, for every type of data, you cannot do all types of analysis. There are limitations of doing this. So if you have developed, if you have generated the data, now how you will analyze? For analyzing that data, now you need to download a software which is inbuilt. If you will go to data, there is a data analysis. This may not be there in your computers. Now, how to download this, that presentation I will share you. And then you can download this in your computers also. So again, I will stop sharing this and I will share with you the presentation of how to download this. Yes. Rucha madam, is it visible how to download toolpath?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, in your computers, in your MS Office Windows, you will find this. It is you can work offline. It can be downloaded offline. Now, how to do this? You need to first I'll click on the start. Yes, you need to start. You open an Excel file, any Excel file. Then after opening an Excel file, you go to the office button, which is at the left top corner. Okay. So go to office button in the left top corner. And after this, you go to Excel options. This computer was 2007 Windows. But if you have 2010 Windows in your computer, then you will find this option word somewhere here. यहाँ पे आपको you will find this Excel options somewhere this side only, okay? But this computer was 2007 MS, sorry, Windows. So once you get this Excel options, click this Excel options. Please note down the steps because you need to do this. Then after doing this, you click this add-ins. You will get this add-ins over here. Then after clicking add-ins, go to Go. Okay, Go, you will find analysis toolpath here. Click Go. And after doing Go, this box will pop up. Okay. Now here, you click Analysis Toolpath and Analysis Toolpath VBA. Okay, Analysis Toolpath and Analysis Toolpath VBA. You need to click these two. So in the next slide, I have clicked these two. Click Analysis Toolpath, Analysis Toolpath VBA. And after clicking these, click OK. Click OK. This OK I have clicked. Now the screen will become blank and message will appear. Please wait. The computer is configuring. The screen will become blank. Okay. And it will say, please wait. The computer is configuring. So after 5 minutes, if it is not there, then this will be downloaded in your computers. And after this, okay, if you will go to data, you'll find this icon in your this toolbar. You will see data analysis. Okay. And if you click data analysis, you'll find the number of statistical analysis you can do with a simple click. Just one click, you can do many types of analysis. Okay. These are different types of analysis right from A to Z. Now here Anova, starting from analysis of variance to this you will find up to Z test. You will find there are different tests which are inbuilt. Okay. So this is how you can download.
Ma'am, sorry to interject. Ma'am, it's little faster. Can you be little slow?
Shall I?
By the time we click it.
Okay, I'll repeat it once again.
Yes, ma'am. It would be helpful.
Okay, I'll repeat it once again. So I think you all are doing simultaneously also. So we need to open an Excel file. Mohit ka phone hai. So you need to open an Excel file. Start it. After opening an Excel file, you need to click the Office button in the left top corner of your screen. Okay. Then after doing this, you go to Excel options. I said if it is your Windows 2007, you will find here. If it is Windows 2010, you will find option word somewhere here. Okay. You click options, and then after clicking options, you go to add-ins. You go to add-ins. Then after clicking add-ins, you go to go, because you will see analysis toolpack and analysis toolpack VBA. So you need to click go here. So after clicking go, you will find, or a box will pop up, and this will show a box in which analysis toolpack and analysis toolpack VBA is written. Now you click this.
Yes, ma'am.
Renu madam, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Now I'm there. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now analysis toolpack and analysis toolpack VBA. You click both of these, and after clicking this, click OK. Click OK. So if you will click OK, you will find that your computer will take few minutes to upload this in your computers. So once it is uploaded, you can check, you can go to data menu, and under data menu, you will find at the end data analysis. Okay, you will find data analysis. Now under data analysis, if you click this data analysis, you will find the number of tests you can do. The number of tests you can do, right from analysis of variance to the last test, that is Z test. That is the Z test. You can see all the tests you can do using this. So you can analyze 19 different statistical analysis. Okay. Now the data which we have, I'll try to calculate. We will do analysis using this data analysis tool. Okay. So this is over. This is over. Now I will again stop sharing, and I will share my Excel sheet. Okay. I will share Excel sheet, Microsoft Excel. Now this is the data we have generated. Okay. This is the data we have generated. Now I will go to data analysis, and we will do analysis. Okay. Now we have a data of about 50 participants. We have data of about 50 participants. I think you all well versed with Excel. These are all known as columns, A, B, C, D. These are columns. Okay, these are all columns, and these are all rows. These are all rows. If you click a single the thing, you will find that will which column or which row you are there will be indicated. Like this is the box which is in the third row of B column. Okay, so this is how this is Excel. Now what I will do, I will click data analysis. Under data analysis, I will go to descriptive statistics. After descriptive statistics, I will click OK. See, I'm going very slow. Please note down so that you will be able to do. So I have I've clicked data analysis. Under data analysis, I am clicking descriptive statistics and doing OK. Okay. So after doing this, okay, what I will do is I will take data right from gender to these all data. See, now the problem is I cannot do statistical analysis of this. Why? Because the data needs to be in numbers, numerical. The data should be in numbers. Then only I will be able to do this analysis of this data. And as I said, the second column, third column, fourth column, these four columns, the data is quantitative data. But this data, last data of opinion regarding third wave, this is the data is qualitative data. So this data I need to study it, then only I can classify and I can write the discussion about this. But here I will need the statistical analysis of this quantitative data. So what we will do, I will copy. If you will click this left top corner, so the whole data will be copied. I will simply copy it and I will open another sheet and I will click here and will paste it. The data is here and we don't need this. So I will delete this column and I will delete this column also because this is a qualitative data and we don't need right now. Okay, so we will do analysis of this data. Okay, now as I said, what is the problem with analysis? I cannot do, somebody has written minus 65 weight. Okay, I need to correct the data first. Okay, then what we will do, we will convert the data. Again, I will sort and filter and we will convert into figures. Like I will give 1 to male and 2 to female. Okay, so I've selected this column and I have gone to filter. Under this filter, I will select all, sorry, I will select all males first. All males are there. I will give these males one number, one code, and all male have been given one figure. Then second is female. I will convert this female into, I'll give code as 2. Simply this is 2, is male and 2 is female. Okay. Similarly here, we'll do the same thing. Now here, select all, you'll find all males and females have been given 1 and 2 scores. Now under faculties, we'll do the same thing. We'll go to filter. Now I'll go to, first I will select art and humanities. We'll give one number to art and humanities. Then second, we'll go to commerce. We'll go to science and technology now. And we will give, okay, only one candidate is there. So 2 for science and technology. Then we'll go to 3. Okay, the majority are from commerce and management. So we'll do, this is, we'll give 3 code to all the participants of commerce and management. This I have converted. Then other, there are only 2 teachers from other faculty. So this 2 I have done. So what we have done is, we have given codes to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think for others also I have given the same number. Doesn't matter, very few numbers were there. So 1, 2, 3 we have done. Then we need not change the figures in age in years because they are already in numericals. Weight in kgs also in numerical. So we need not change the data. Now what we can do is, now we can do analysis. So for analysis, we need to convert our data into numericals first. So we have first collected the data. In the second part, what we have done, we have given them numericals. We have converted into numericals. Now from this data, I will be doing statistical analysis. So I want to do descriptive analysis. I have clicked OK. So for it has selected the data, but then this is not sufficient because it has not taken into consideration all the columns. So right from the top, that is right from the title you need to select. Right from the title you need to select. Okay. Just a minute. Data analysis, descriptive, okay. Under this, you need to select the data right from A1 to D51 we have. Okay. Now this data, now after selecting this data, you need to write labels in the first row are there or not. So this is the first row and the label is given here. Okay. Gender, faculty, age in years and weight in kg. So I will click this labels in the first row. Then new worksheet. Do you want the result in a new worksheet? If we want a result in a new worksheet, you can write new worksheet. Or else you can click this output range. And after clicking this output range, you can click the place where you want the answer. Otherwise, it is safer to get this answer in the new worksheet. Okay. And then what?
Ma'am, your input range has been changed. The selection is changed.
Oh, yes. Okay. It's because I was showing you that. Okay. Yes. Then labels in the first row. Then new worksheet apply. Then we will click summary statistics. Okay. And then I will do OK. I will do OK. So this is the statistical, in a single click you will get everything. But now here I will tell you the difference between the parametric and non-parametric data. Okay. So in case of gender, it was non-parametric data, it was nominal data, but mean is 1.7 because we have given 1 to male and 2 to female, they have given a mean of 1.7. But 1.7 is what? So this, for this type of data, we cannot do mean. We cannot do mean. For faculty also, faculty was a nominal data, and here we cannot do the this type of analysis. Okay, but age in years was a scale data. Weight in kg was a scale data. So this scale data, from this data we can do mean is 37.1 is the age in years. Standard error is given, median is given, mode is given. Mode is like many teachers are of 40 years of age. Standard deviation is given, sample variance, kurtosis, skewness, range is given. 33 is the range. The lowest age is 22 and maximum age is 55. And the difference between 55 and 22 is 33. And the sum of all ages is 1859 and the total count is 50. So this is how this data, from this data, which is a scale data, this is a parametric data, and you can do all descriptive analysis using this type of data. Then your weight data. Weight data, the mean weight is 67.59. Then this is standard error, median, mode, standard deviation, then sample variance, kurtosis, skewness, I will tell you later. Then this is range. The minimum weight is 41 and maximum is 93, and the sum total is 3379 and the count is 50. So here I just wanted to tell you the types of data and the types of analysis, descriptive analysis we can do. Okay, I think it is clear to you. If you have any problem, you can ask me right now. I'll explain you. In the next presentation, we will see a few more analysis, and we'll also see kurtosis, clearness. What are this? What is normal probability? I wanted to explain you the quantitative and qualitative analysis, and then nominal data, ordinal we have not used, and the scale data we have seen. Okay, is there any problem? I think we can give you half an hour's break and we can start at 2:30 again. Richa madam? Richa madam?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, that is okay, ma'am.
So I think we
So you'll be starting at 2:30?
Yes, because by that time I'll be able to do some work so that I can teach them inferential statistics.
Yes, yes. So participants,
Okay, ma'am.
now we are having a short break. And let's
So, ma'am, we
join
will
at
resume
2:30.
the session at 2:30.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, participants, for joining in. Thank you, Rekha, ma'am.
I'm very
So the
sorry,
next
madam,
session,
the
ma'am,
problem
no
I had
issues
today.
at all.
No issue, ma'am.
Okay.
Fine. Participants, please join 10 minutes before the scheduled time so that we can have the next session smoothly. The attendance form link will be shared in the WhatsApp group. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to session 3. Rekha ma'am is already there with us. Ma'am, we can start the session.
Okay. So, welcome back, participants. Now we will see inferential statistics. So before I start with the inferential statistics, let me give you an idea about normal probability curve. Okay, I will first share my presentation. Rucha ji, the screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, now I'll give you a brief idea about normal probability curve. See, it is not very easy to teach everything about statistics in 1 or 2 hours, okay? But since you have already studied it, you must be having some idea about these terminologies and these concepts. But let me revise it. Now, normal probability curve, it is the most common probability distribution in statistics. It is a mathematical and theoretical distribution, describes the expected distribution of sample means and many other chance occurrences. So suppose, yes, it is based on the law of probability, and probability of a given event is defined as the expected frequency of occurrence in this event. Now suppose see an economical condition or the wages of the labor, you'll find that if you distribute, or say according to income, if you distribute the population or according to any characteristics, you will get this type of curve. Okay, now suppose according to the economic condition, if we classify the data, you will find that there are very few people who are very poor, they are earning very less, and there are majority of people who are earning a moderate income.
Draft of the report, that is okay, but before submission of your final draft, make sure that you will be getting that certification from the company. If need be, get in touch with them.
Dr. Shraddha,
n number of emails if required. Again, take help from
Dr. Shraddha.
Yes, Shraddha ma'am, please mute yourself. Yeah, thank you.
So I was telling you, if we distribute the population according to income, we will find that there are very few people who are earning very less. They are very poor, very, very poor. And we'll find that majority people are people who are earning moderate income. And then we'll come down to the end of this graph, wherein we'll find that there are very few people, they are very rich. Okay. So extremes are in these extreme ends, and majority people are in this the normal group. Like if we go to purchase the clothing, you'll find that majority clothes you'll find of the normal size. Okay, and then XL1, XL2, you'll find very less. So majority is in case of shoes, in case of apparel, you will find that they are made majority for the population of a normal size, of a standard size. Okay, so this is how the concept of normal probability curve is. Now, as I said, it is a theoretical concept, and here you will find that we'll define the characteristics also. In this normal probability curve, the center of this curve, here you will find that mean, median, and mode, all these three lie in the center of this normal probability curve. Okay, and it is symmetrical around its vertical axis. Okay, that is, it implies that the size, shape, and the slope of the curve on one side of the curve is identical to on the other side of the curve. Then the values of mean, mode, media, I said it coincides and have the same value. And then height of the vertical line called as ordinate, okay, is maximum at the mean, and the unit is normal curve is about 0.398. Now, you'll find that this much area, that is -1 to +1, the area is about 62.7% area. That means about 68.27% people are there in this area. Then from -2 to +2, you'll find that it covers about 95.45% people. And from -3 to 3, that is standard deviation, you'll find that about 99.73% people are there. Okay. Then the ends of these normal probability curve, they never touch this x-axis. So they are yes, they never touch this axis. The curve has no boundaries in either direction, for the curve never touches the baseline. It never touches the baseline, no matter how far it extends. The curve is asymptotic. Asymptotic is it never touches the baseline. Then the curve is asymptotic and extends from minus to plus n, minus n to plus m infinity. Then the percentage in a given standard deviation are greatest around the mean. Yes, the greatest percentage are found around the mean. Then yes. Now one more thing, let me tell you about the rejection area. Now when we calculate the say inferential statistics, when we do, we always calculate the critical value, we calculate the rejection region. So the rejection region of this is here. Okay, so what is this? We will study in the next slide, in the next scene. Then sometimes what happens, your normal probability curve, this is red colored is your normal probability curve. This is known as mesocotic. But sometimes your data may be like it may be very narrow, and you'll find that this becomes elongated, and this is known as leptokurtic. Okay, which is when your data is horizontally or vertically when it is elongated, or it is known as leptokurtic data, and when it flattens, it is known as platykurtic data. And these changes are known as kurtosis. These changes are known as kurtosis. And when your data is skewed is when it shifts from its, this is the original one, but when it shifts to its left side or towards right side, then it is known as positive skewness or negative skewness. When the tail is more towards positive side, it is known as positively skewed, and when it is towards negative side, it is known as negatively skewed. So this is how, in case of a normal probability curve, mean, median, and mode are in the same place. But when this mean, it shifts to the negative side, it is known as negatively skewed. And when it shifts to the positive side, it is known as positively skewed. So this is the skewness and kurtosis of data is. Then thereafter is where do we use? We will study later on. Okay, so with this, I have finished one presentation. Now I will show you inferential statistics, and along with that, we will the data which we have generated using that data, we will be doing the another part. So inferential statistics. So under inferential statistics, Ruchaji, can you see this presentation, inferential statistics?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now slide show, play from the current slide. Yes. Inferential statistics, it is a decision to choose the right way to do analysis according to whether your data is parametric or non-parametric. You need to see what is the level of confidence you are using, what is your hypothesis, then what are the types of your dependent and independent variables, then the number of groups or number of means you have, then correlation, significant, association, relationships. This we will study now. Now, before we go to the inferential statistics details, we need to know these parameters first. First is parametric, non-parametric. This we have seen in the earlier presentation also. Then the level of confidence we'll study here and hypothesis. Before that, I'll tell you about the type of data independent or dependent variable. So the example I'll give you, suppose we have given the doses of iron to few anemic children, okay, and we want to see their hemoglobin level. So the amount of iron we have given to each student will be an independent variable, whereas dependent variable will be what is their hemoglobin level after getting this iron tablets. So one variable is giving iron, the amount of iron given to each student, and the another variable will be the hemoglobin status. So giving iron, the amount of iron given will be a independent variable, but depending upon this iron, their hemoglobin will be affected, so that their hemoglobin level will be known as dependent variable. So this is how independent and dependent variables are. Now, number of groups and number of means, this I will explain you. This we have seen, okay. Now, types of data, types of tests. This is very important slide, you know. Now, depending upon the type of data.
Ma'am, can you tell us the previous one slide, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. The types of data, ma'am.
Types of independent and dependent variable.
The previous slide which you showed, yeah.
Previous or after this?
After this, after this.
This we have already seen in the last class.
Yeah, okay.
In the last class, we have seen types of data. Non-parametric are nominal and ordinal, and parametric are interval or scale data and ratio. This I have explained you in detail, and accordingly we have got the, we have generated data also. Now I have explained you this. Then after this, types of tests. Now, depending upon the type of data you have, you need to apply the inferential statistics also. Like if your data is parametric, you can use these types of tests for your analysis. And if you have non-parametric data, then these tests will be of use. Okay. So parametric tests like independent t-test, pair t-test, f-test, that is known as Anova, that is analysis of variance, Pearson's coefficient of correlation. When your sample size is less, you can use these tests. But if your sample size is more than 30, then you can use critical ratio test or Z test. Then there are non-parametric tests, from which among these tests, chi-square is a very famous, or which is used very often. And there are median test, Mann-Whitney test, sign test, Wilcoxon method matched pair sign ranks test. These are many tests which we can use. So it depends upon the type of data you have. Sometimes, you know, the students, they ask, I don't know what to do, which test I should apply. So it is the type of data you have. So before generating data, you have to first give importance to the type of information you want. What is your objective? So depending upon your objective, you need to make your questionnaire, you need to generate your data, you need to collect your data, and thereafter, once your data is ready, then you can do your tests, you can do your statistical analysis. So these are two types of tests, parametric tests and non-parametric tests. Parametric tests are used when your data is parametric, and non-parametric is one when your data is non-parametric. Like when you have nominal and ordinal data, you can use these types of tests. And when you have scale or interval data, you can use these types of tests. And that too, if you have a sample size larger than 30, then you can use CR test, critical ratio, or Z test, and otherwise you can use these tests. So we'll do some tests using data analysis tool. Okay. Yes, before that we will go to hypothesis. I think you all are well versed with the word hypothesis. Hypothesis is a tentative solution to the problem is known as hypothesis. A hypothesis is a proposed explanation for the occurrence of phenomena that are such a formulates prior to conducting an experiment. Okay, so types of hypothesis. The one is known as hypothesis, like if you have two variables, okay, and they have their own means, okay, so the null hypothesis will have no relationship. It states that there is no relationship between the two variables being studied, and it is denoted by H0. It is denoted by H0. So the statement will be there is no significant difference between the mean values of the two groups. Whereas in case of alternate hypothesis, one is null hypothesis, another is alternate hypothesis. In case of alternate hypothesis, it states that there is a relationship between two variables being studied. It will tell you that the relationship is there. But again, there are two types of alternate hypothesis. One is non-directional and another is directional hypothesis. So if it is a non-directional hypothesis, it will say there is a difference, but it will not tell you the exact details of that statement. Whereas in case of directional hypothesis, it will tell which one is higher or more than the other one. So in case of non-directional hypothesis, it predicts that the independent variable will have an effect on dependent variable, but the direction of the effect is not specified. Okay, but the example is there is significant difference between the mean weights of males and females, that it is saying, but the direction is it is not giving. When it is a directional hypothesis, it will predict the nature of the effect of independent variable on the dependent variable. Now the statement which I am giving is not about independent and dependent variables, but there are two different groups of males and females, and we are studying weights. Now, directional hypothesis will tell you the mean weights of males are significantly higher than females. So these are different statements which are used for the different types of hypothesis. Like in case of null hypothesis, you will get there is no relationship, or you can also write they are equal. No relationship or no differences, they are same, they are equal. So mean 1 is equal to mean 2, or you can also write mean 1 is not equal to mean 2. But in case of alternate hypothesis, there are two types, non-directional and directional hypothesis. Directional hypothesis will tell which one is higher or lower, whereas non-directional will tell there is a difference, but it will not give any direction. Then thereafter, sample size. I think this is a simple, different this thing. But then whenever we do a statistical analysis or whenever we collect the data, there is always a chance of error. Okay, now this error, there are two types of error which occur. Okay, one is type 1 and another is known as type 2 error. What are these errors? We will see. And like suppose I have come out with a product and I want to launch it in the market. Okay, so before launching it in the market, what I did, I gave it to Rucha ji and I asked her, how do you find this sample? How is this sample? So there are 4 different options which the results I can get. Okay, my product was good. Rucha madam also said it is good. Then my product was good, was bad. Rucha madam also said it is bad. But the third option is my product was good, but then she said it is not good. So I did not launch it in the market. Okay. So while my product was good, but Rucha madam said it is not good, then that is known as type 1 error. Even if it was good, but then it was rejected, and that is known as type 1 error. And this type 1 error is nothing but the p-value, or it is known as significance value. Okay. So when I'll go back to, and the fourth option will be, my product was not good, but she said, no, it is good. मेरा दिल रखने के लिए she said कि okay, your product is good. So what if I launch it in the market? The market will be, it will be flopped. Okay. So that is how, even if it was false, but it was not rejected, and that is known as type 2 error. That is known as type 2 error. So type 1 error is known as alpha error, and this is known as beta error. And this alpha error is also known as p-value, or known as significance value. Okay. So going back to the last slide. So there are two types of error. Wrongly rejecting a null hypothesis is called type 1 error, and the probability of this error is popularly known as p-value. This is what we call it as p-value. Okay. The maximum p-value allowed in a study problem is called the level of significance. Okay. The maximum p-value you allow, we allow usually 5% error, we allow 5% error. So that is known as p-value allowed in a study problem is called the level of significance, or sometimes called as alpha level. So I think it is very clear with an example of this product. Shall I repeat it once again? Because once you know about this, it will be easy for you to accept or reject the hypothesis. Okay, so p-value is kept at a low level, mostly less than 5%, or we denote it by p less than 0.05, and the result is called statistically significant when p less than 0.05%, and highly significant when p less than 0.01. Okay, so the complement of this is when we use 5%, so 100 minus 5 is 95. So 95 will be used as a confidence interval. Okay, significance level plus confidence interval together should be 100. So if your p-value is 5%, your confidence interval will be 95%. Together there should be 100. Then yes, thank you with this. And now I will show you how to do various calculations and how to interpret your results. So I click stop sharing, and we'll go to the analysis part now. Yes, now again, by this Excel sheet you can see. So before I go to the other analysis part, let me show you a very interesting thing which you can do. I've inserted a column here. Now you have this gender and faculty of all the participants. And if I want to classify this data according to gender and faculty, so how can I do it? Okay. See, you can note down the steps also. Here I will write score, and I will write 1, 1 to all this. I'll just write 1, and I've given 1, 1 score to this. Now after doing this, what I can do is I will select this data right from gender to score. Okay, I've selected this data, and I'll go to insert. After going to insert, I'll go to pivot table. From pivot table, I will go to now what type of data I want. Only from the nominal data I can make this table. So I'll go to gender. I will use this gender. I'll bring it to the column part. Okay, and I'll bring this faculty to the rows part, and this score part where I've written 1, 1, that I will bring it to values part. Can you all see what we have done here? what we have done here?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yes. Now, arts and humanities, we have one and two male participants. Commerce and management, we have 33 female and 11 males. So in a fraction of a minute, you have classified your data according to gender and according to their faculty. Okay. Likewise, for any two variables, you can generate this type of pivot table and you can calculate. Once this table is ready, you can do chi-square test. That now this is a non-parametric data, so you will be using non-parametric tests. So the test which I have given you in the earlier presentation, you can use data according to your objective of your study, and this is how you can divide your data. If you need, I will repeat it once again because it is very important, those especially who are doing the research and they have a large number of data. You have customers data of about 500 or 10 1000. So should I repeat it once again, Rucha ji?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. One of the participants said yes, you can repeat it, ma'am.
Okay, so what we have done, I have added a column over here and I've written 111. I've given a score of 111 because ultimately these scores are calculated. So we need to add a column wherein of a score and we need to give 11 to this column. So I have given 11 to all this rows. After adding this, you need to select the data. I have selected data from gender to score. You need to select the data up to scores. Okay, so I've selected the data up to score. Now after selecting the data, I will go to insert. Now under insert, you will find first pivot table or pivot table. So I click this pivot table. After clicking this, once your data is already been selected, you need not select it once again. You just click OK. After clicking OK, now it is up to you. How do you want your columns and rows? So in the first time when I told you, I took gender in the column. Now we'll take faculty. See, the only thing which you need to remember is your nominal data has to be here. Nominal and ordinal data only you need to select here. So I select faculty over here in the column data. See, here you will find that the columns are of faculty. Then gender, I cannot select age in years and weight in kg, otherwise the data, because they are different type of, they are parametric data. Then second is gender. You take this gender and you bring it to near the rows. Again you take scores and drag it to values. Now we have a distribution. This way we have a distribution now. There are total 50 participants. 35 are female, 15 are male. Okay. And this is what we have got. So this is how you can classify your data. Okay, this is one type of analysis we have seen. Now the rest of the analysis will go to another this thing. Now suppose in gender, okay, we have males and females. We have their age in years and weight in kg. Now what I want to see is whether there is a difference between male age of males and females. So what I can do is I can simply, I'll go to data, I'll go to filter, I'll go to select only males I will take. I'm copying it down and putting it here. Okay, this is the data of males. This is the age of males. Then from here, I will again take the data of females and I'll take here their age. Copy. I'll go to so this is of females. See, now the variable is only one. I've taken age as a variable, but there are two groups. Okay, the variable is only one, that is the age, but there are two groups, male and female. And I want to study whether there is a significant difference between the means of these two groups. I want to study whether there is a difference between the ages of these males and female. So variable is only one, but there are two groups. In such case, the test which is applied is known as t-test. An independent t-test is used. So I'll go to data analysis. I'll go to t-test. Independent t-test. Independent t-test is a test wherein you have two different groups. So I will take first group. Then I will click here and will take the second group. Okay, even if the number of sample size of two groups are different, doesn't matter, because in independent t-test you can have the difference in the sample size. Okay, now if you have a hypothesized mean difference, you write. Otherwise, then labels you need to write here. Okay, you need to write the labels. Sorry, this is again changed. Okay, then labels. Then after labels, by default, it gives you alpha level. We have studied just now what is alpha level. So P level, that is given 0.05. And then we'll get an answer over here, or what I can do, I will select the output range over here. And for this, I will select a box over here. Okay. Then after selecting the box, yes, I will do okay. Now you will find your answer is here. Your answer is here. Okay, now here you will find the mean age of males is 33.85 and mean age is female ka 38.15. So here you will find that this is the variance. There are 7 observations in male and 10 observations in 19 observations in female. Then a degree of freedom is 24. And then T statistics is, it says 1.35. Okay. And P value is 0.1888. Okay. Now how to write its description or inference, if this two-tailed value is less than 0.05, then we say there is a significant difference between the male and female. Okay. Otherwise, statistically, it is saying there is no significant difference between the ages of mean age of male and female, because the P value is more than 0.05. So if your null hypothesis is rejected and it says, if now it is your null hypothesis accepted, it says yes, there is no difference between the age of males and females. So once it is accepted, null hypothesis is accepted. Why it is accepted? Because this P value should be less than 0.05. If it would have been 0.05 or less than this, we would have said there is a difference between the mean age of males and mean age of females. But there is no difference, hence we can say statistically it is a, but here you can see the mean age is 33.85 and mean age of female is very high. But statistically it says there is no significant difference, maybe because the number of females were more and the other problems will be there. So it is saying that, and the T critical is telling you 2.06. That is, you will get this level significant if it would have, T value would have been 2.06. If it would have been 2.06, you would have got a significant difference between the two. Okay, there is one more term. Now T statistics is you are getting T value over here. But unless and until you see the P value, you cannot write the statements or you cannot write the inference. Okay, so to reach to the inference, you need to see the P value to tell P value. And another is degree of freedom. Yeah, those who have done statistics must be knowing what is this degree of freedom. Now the meaning of degree of freedom is like a student has completed his 12th standard and now he wants to take admission for his further studies. Now before him, there are 10 different streams where he has 10 different options where he can take admission. But out of these 10, he needs to take admission in one of the subject, one of the field. So the number of free choices are 10 minus 1. That is 9. So 9 is degree of freedom. So the meaning of degree of freedom is number of free choices available. So that gives you 24. You must have seen for degree of freedom, either it is n by 1 or it is c minus 1 or minus 1. So it depends upon the type of statistics you are using, and then degree of freedom is calculated. So here degree of freedom is number of free choices available. So T will tell you this, and 110 and 210. Again, I have told you about the normal probability curve. And the another thing is, it depends upon the type of your study, you need to frame your hypothesis. If many people have done, large number of researchers have already done in studies in your field, then you can write your alternate hypothesis. Or if very few people have done the work, then you need to write the null hypothesis. But again, it depends upon your subject area and the fields, and accordingly you can write your areas. So this is about first statistics, that is independent t-test I have told you. Now we'll move towards another types of statistics. I will select a tool pack sheet. So first we will see independent t-tests we have seen from group 1 and group 2. Now I will show you about paired t-test. Paired t-test, you can do paired t-test when you have pre and post data. Pre and post data, or you say before training and after training scores if you have. If you have a data of before training scores and after training scores, or pre-test scores and post-test scores. You know, I am from food and nutrition, so many a times what we do, if we find a high fasting blood sugar, so we give them a regime of food and exercise, and we ask them to see their weight once again, blood sugar level once again after a month. So after a month, you know, the blood sugar level after a month. So the data of first day's blood sugar level and data after 30 days level can be calculated using a t-test. But then that t-test is a different one, and we'll go to data. We'll go to data analysis, and here we will see t-test pair to sample for means. We'll go to OK. Okay. Then after this, we'll go to variable range 1. This is variable range 1. Then variable range 2. This is variable range 2. But you please remember, like in Excel, simple Excel, if you are working, you need not select the label. Okay. But in case of data analysis, you can use the first level also, first row also. And the labels in the row will help you to get the data, your label data. Then here I will click labels in the first row. alpha is 0.05, and then I'll click output range over here, and I'll click this and will show, indicate here. Here I can use and will write or click OK. Now after clicking this, my results are here. The mean of the first group is 30.6 and the mean of second group is 34. It is not group. It is not group. So though the variable is 1, but this is pre-test score and these are the post-test score. So the mean of pre-test score is 30.6 and post-test score is 34.15. Now you'll find here, but then you need to have the equal numbers of pre-test and post-test squares. In the earlier one, we have seen even if the number of males and females were not equal, but then we can do independent t-test. But here in case of a paired t-test, we need to have the equal number of readings for both the groups, because the difference between two are calculated here and then the calculation is done. So here the degree of freedom is 20 and in P
Ma'am, you're not audible. Yes, participants, I think again there is some connectivity issue from Rekha ma'am's side. I will check. Please stay tuned till then.
unmute. ठीक है. Yes, yes. आज टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत गेम खेल रही है मेरे साथ, बार बार बंद हो जा रहा है या कुछ हो जा रहा है.
Ma'am, now even the screen is visible and you are audible, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the second we have seen test. First we have seen independent t-test, wherein the group variable was 1 and there were two groups. Now in case of paired t-test, we have the same variable, but that scores, they are before training and after training scores of pre-test and post-test scores. Okay, and we have done this analysis. Now the next we will see Anova. Okay, in the first case, we had two groups, okay, male and female. And in fact, I had given you a question of one faculty also. Unfortunately, wherein the numbers of teachers in arts and humanities and in science and technology are very less. So I did not divide it. But if you have more than two groups, and you want to see the significant difference between the means of these groups, then we need to apply another test, and that test is known as analysis of variance, or it is also known as F test. Okay, so now this is an example wherein there are three groups, class A, class B, and class C. And for the subject English, they have been given a test, and out of 25, they have been given marks. So out of 25 in these three sections, the test has been given, and these are the three groups wherein the test is given. So the variable is only 1, that is the marks of their English out of 25, but there are three groups, and we want to see the mean scores of each class. So we will be applying a test. Again, we'll go to data, we'll go to data analysis. Now we'll go to single factor Anova and I'll click OK. Okay. After doing this, I will click the whole data. This is the input range. Then they are grouped by column. Yes, they are grouped by column. Then there is a label in the first row. Yes, there is a label in the labels in the first row. Then output range I will select here. I will go to this. Then I'll select this. And again, I'll go to OK. Okay. So this is how in a fraction of a second, if you have ever calculated your F test, you'll find it takes at least half an hour. But in a single click, you'll find that you're able to click this. You know, it is free of cost. There is no need to purchase costly tools, online tools for this. You can simply calculate this. This is the summary. Average of class A is 14.09. Average of class B is 419. Average of class C is 20. Okay. And this ANOVA you must have seen, sum of squares, degree of freedom, mean sum of squares, and F value. This is the value which you have got. But P value, you'll be able to see E, that is exponential. So what you can do is you just double click this. So you'll able to find now 0 after 2 decimals. That is sufficient to take the decision that there is a significant difference between these three. When it is 0.000, you can see there is a significant difference. I said the values less than 0.05 will give you significant difference. But again, you please see your own faculty, what type of hypothesis you write and what type of you levels.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
We cannot see the result of ANOVA test. Its t-test results are there in the slide.
Again, I think you will have to stop sharing and then share again. Rekha ma'am, am I audible? Ma'am, we can see the screen, but we cannot hear you.
No, I think it was unmuted. It was muted by I think some problem again. It was there.
Okay, ma'am.
See, Abhi madam, somebody asked me about the t-test. It is not t-test, it is F-test. When the number of groups are more than 2, we need to do a test known as ANOVA, analysis of variance. Now there are 3 groups, okay? And this is F-test which I have done. And F-test will tell you, now I said you need to see what type of values you consider. Is it less than 0.05? Or more than 0.05, what type of hypothesis you are taking. If it is a null hypothesis, it should be less than 0.05 p-value. Okay, so here I can say it is significant, very significant difference between the means of one class A, class B, and class C. Okay, then after this, another thing which I will tell you is about correlation. Again, the data is same, but I want to see whether there is correlation between the two. Am I clear, Madam Srivastava ji?
Ma'am, actually in this screen still t-test is coming, not ANOVA test.
I see. So I'll share.
But I got your point, ma'am. Thank you.
I'll stop sharing it.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Very sorry. Acha, okay. Now, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think this pair t-test, when I explained you, was it, could you get it, what I told?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this is about one-way ANOVA, which I have explained you right now. These are the three
Rekha ma'am, again your voice is not audible. We can see the screen, but voice is not audible. Yes, again, I think there is some connectivity issue from ma'am's side. So I'll just coordinate and let you people know.
Ruja madam, please give me screen sharing option.
Yes, ma'am, just a second.
I'm so sorry after disruptions. In fact, this statistics class needs to be very smooth going, you know.
Ma'am, just give me a minute. I'll be making you the host.
Okay.
Rucha, I have already made her the host.
Yes, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now this screen is visible.
Yes,
ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'm repeating this ANOVA once again because there was a problem of connectivity. So there are three groups, as I said earlier. When you have more than two groups, you need to do ANOVA. ANOVA is analysis of variance. Now here, I'll click data analysis. Under data analysis, I'll click single factor. Okay. Then I will select the input range. This is the input range I've selected. After selecting input range, grouped by columns, because these are the columns. Then labels in the first row. Yes, there are labels in the first row. Then new output range I will select. This is the range I have selected. Okay, after selecting this range, I will go back to OK. And this is the answer. Now these are averages for class 1, class 2, and class C. Now visually we can see the average of class C is very high. But then statistically, if we go, it is F test and value of F test. But on the basis of F test value, you cannot take inference. To calculate inference, we need to click this FP value. If you see exponential, you just double click it, and 0, 2, 0, 3, 0 after exponential will help you to take a decision that there is a significant difference between the three groups. But one more thing you need to remember. There is one more thing to remember, that if your F test is significant, you need to do post the Hoc test. Post Hoc test is a test which tells you what are there are two groups where there is a significant difference. Like every time you need to do the t-test between two groups, like if there are three groups, so you need to do t-test between class A and class B, class A and class C, class B and class C, class A and class C. So in different combinations, you need to see which two groups differ significantly. Like I'll explain you once again. If your F test is significant, if you get your answer significant,
one thing,
then
WhatsApp me in this number, giving all details if you like,
Sujata ji. So if you are
ma'am, sorry for interruption. Ma'am, can you again explain me the p value and f, like how do you find it as significant?
See, if F value answer is 17.23, but depending on this F value, I cannot come to the conclusion unless I see my P value. Okay. So P value is if your null hypothesis, if you have taken a null hypothesis, so you need to see your P value. So in case of P value here, you find E word. E is exponential. But in other cases, if we did not find this, so if it is E value, you simply double click it. So you'll find that after decimal 0.05, it should be less than 0.05 to make the null hypothesis significant. Okay. So this is less than 0.05. That's why I said there is a significant difference between the mean values of class A, class B, and class C. But once you get this significant, then you need to calculate post hoc test. Now, the meaning of post hoc test is a test which will tell you what are these two different groups where there is a significant difference. That is, you need to calculate t-test.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, Rekha ma'am. Rekha ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Now?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is audible.
Okay, now the third we will see correlation. The next test will see correlation. Now again in correlation we have three different groups. Again the variable is only one, but there are three groups and we want to see is there any correlation. So instead of this I will take another one. I have a data of age, height and weight. Okay, I have a data of age, height and weight. And I want to see whether there is a correlation between height and weight. Whether there is increase in height also increases weight, or reduction in height reduces weight, or what is the correlation between them. So to find that, I will go to again, I'll go to data analysis, then I'll go to correlation. Okay. And for this, again, I'll go to input range, height and weight data, and then labels in the first row, and output range, we'll take this one. And here, correlation, okay. Column output range. Okay. Okay. There is a problem with this formula. Now trying to type a formula. Okay. everyone. Just a minute, I think there is some problem. Can you see this? Rucha ji?
Ma'am, if you can increase the font size or zoom in. Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible.
Yes. Now it is said that now there is a positive correlation between weight and height. You know, the answer of correlation you will get from -1 to +1. Okay. It will not be more than 1. So if your answer for correlation is more than 1, that is you are wrong somewhere. Okay. Here you will find that yes, it may be negative or it may be positive. Now the meaning of negative is with an increase in 1. Okay. Like when both rise together or when both decrease together, that is known as positive correlation. And when one is increasing and another is decreasing, it is known as negative correlation. So in case of height and weight, there is no sign here. That is, there is a positive correlation between height and weight. And you know, there is a very low correlation between height and weight. It is 0.28. It depends upon the type of data. Otherwise, now the ranges are very low is 0 to 0.2. Then 0.2 to 0.4 is moderate correlation. 0.4 to 0.6 is substantial correlation. And 0.6, 0.7 to 0.2 up to 1 is said to be very high correlation. So this is about the correlation coefficient. Okay, and you want to see whether the correlation is significant or not. In the
Ma'am, the voice is again not audible. Ma'am, the voice is not audible.
So am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Now you're audible.
My screen is also visible.
Yes, ma'am. The screen is visible.
So I'll repeat it once again. I have selected this data, height and weight data. We'll see regression equation. Regression equation is how can you predict the one variable, values of the one variable from the another one. So this is X and this is Y. Okay, I've selected this. I go to insert, then I'll go to pivot table. After pivot table, I'll go to OK. And after, sorry, not pivot table, I'm so sorry. This is the data of height and weight. I have selected this data. I'll go to insert. After insert, After insert, I will go to scatter data. This is the scattered data I've selected. After selecting this data, I will go to quick layout number 9. Okay, click layout number 9. Okay, if you go to click layout number 9, I click this and you will find an equation over here. Okay, this equation is nothing but regression equation. Okay, like if you want to want to know the weight of a person whose height is not written here, but I have a height, the range of this is between this only, and want to know the weight of that person. So I simply write 0.1654 multiplied by that height plus 24.889. I will get the probable weight of that person. So this is known as regression equation. So to calculate regression equation is you can first go to regression to scattered diagram. After scattered diagram, you go to quick layout, and you under quick layout, this FX is written. You select that design, and under FX you will find this equation, and this equation is known as regression equation. So this is how it can be calculated. So if you have any questions, I have without using SPSS, in your computer itself, you can do lots of calculations. So basics of this I have told you. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I have few data, very beautiful data I have. My students have done, and different types of statistics I can tell you. But I find majority are from commerce and management. So Shiny madam, I will request you to please explain them about alternate hypothesis, because when I tell them more about null hypothesis and the levels, they may get confused. So what type of levels you consider for management? You will be
Okay.
the yes,
Ma'am, like tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we are having session by Dr. Saurabh Agrawal, and he will be covering all hypotheses and everything under that.
Okay, but for inferential statistics, I need to tell them.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
covered that, but I took it as for null hypothesis. But in management, you consider null as well as alternate hypothesis.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the levels, you know, when you consider, they are a bit different because it varies. The concepts are same, but the values which we consider for different subjects are different. So it depends upon your subject area, you can explain them. But
yeah, if Mr. Agrawal is not covering, then I'll take a session.
Yes. So the basics I have tried to explain. I'm very sorry today my network has ditched me. It has created problems so many times. So I'm
not an issue, ma'am. Not an issue. That is the part and parcel of virtual world, isn't it? I think participants also understand the same thing.
Yes, and I have tried to explain them with the help of the data generated here only.
Yeah, that was a wonderful thing which you have done. So it has made the session participative in nature, or otherwise we generally, in case of virtual thing, no, it is very difficult to make it participative.
Yes, it is one way otherwise. It is one way. But
yes.
Participated, and I did not ask them to write their names. Otherwise, they have not given me the weight and the age and the other.
right. And one best part is what all the participants, like I have seen in this workshop, they're very, very much participative and interactive in nature. So it is a good thing which I have observed. So thank you for being a wonderful audience.
Yes, that is very important. We need to have, apart from this technology problems, we need to have a good learners. Those who are interested, and they are interactive, they are interesting, they want to attend the class. Otherwise,
yes.
Yes.
Ma'am, if you have some material so that we can share with them, you have anything to share?
Those PPTs I will share.
Okay, if you could send it to us, we'll share it with the participants.
I will share those PPTs.
Okay.
So I think there are no problems, no questions. So can I leave the session now? I think my session is over now.
Ma'am,
Thank
vote
you,
of
ma'am.
thanks, a formal
Yeah,
vote of
It was
thanks
really very
by Rucha.
Rekha ma'am, thank you so much. I would like to express our deep gratitude to you for sparing your valuable time. And in spite of the fact that there were so many connectivity issues, you have made it a point to complete and cover everything you had committed to. The presentation was excellent, ma'am, and the session was very insightful and incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Richa ji. And thank you for
Thank
all
you,
the
ma'am.
kind words. You know, you used to say, Madam, कोई बात नहीं कर लीजिए आप. You reconnected. हाँ,
Yeah.
मुझे समझ में आ रहा है when I am coordinator और ऐसा बीच में problems आता है तो मेरे words कितने important है उनके लिए. How important. Yes.
Ma'am,
I
thank you so much. It means a lot coming to me.
I have to be very considerate when you are on the other side of the desk. Okay, so you have to see that सामने वाला परेशान नहीं होना चाहिए. You have to be very considerate. So Rucha ji, thank you so much for considering all my technology problems. And Shiny Chip madam knows everything. मैं कितने courses organize करती हूँ, but this is the first time I had come across with these problems today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot
Thank
for
you,
accepting the
everyone.
invitation and being a part of this
Thank you, sir.
faculty development program. See you soon.
Ma'am, we'll
Thank
get
you.
the recording.
Now I'm leaving the meeting, Rucha ji.
Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you, ma'am.
yes. Thank you so much, ma'am.
But
Your
I'm
words were
getting
overwhelming.
end. So I should
Thank
get
you,
leave. Leave
ma'am.
आना
Just
चाहिए ना.
leave. Ma'am, just leave. We will end it from our side.
Dr. Rucha,
Yes,
we'll
participants,
get
we
the
will be
recording
sharing the link shortly.
Ma'am, can we get the email ID also of Sharma ma'am?
Ma'am, I will have a word with Shiny ma'am. You are on mute mode, ma'am.
Acha, Rucha, you can take the permission from her and then you can share it.
Right. Yes, participants, I will have a word with Rekha ma'am. If ma'am is comfortable, we will be sharing her contact details with you all and also the presentations.
Okay.
Right. With this, we have come to an end of day 2 of the FDP and we will resume tomorrow 10:30 a.m. All the
Hope you all
participants
are
are
enjoying. Hope you
Very
all are
nice
enjoying
session,
and having a wonderful time with us.
Wonderful session, ma'am. Wonderful time. Thank you.
Yes,
so
madam.
much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
so
you.
much,
Thanks
ma'am.
a lot. So see you all
Thank you.
tomorrow virtually. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you
Bye-bye,
everyone.
ma'am.
Please join 10 minutes before
Have
the
a good day.
scheduled time tomorrow. Good day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Same to you.